Hey, this is Retired Geek Woman, and this is Skyrim SE Retired Slow Play, part number 42. We're going to take up right where we left off, which we had just spoken with Delphine, and she wanted us to go talk to a certain character down in Riften who I've been avoiding because don't seem to be on the up and up. And she also wanted us, I'm sorry, that's part of the main quest line. And then part of the Civil War quest line is that we need to go talk to Ulfric Stormcloak and get some more, follow that along. And that is the Civil War quest. So I'm working on those two kind of intermittently, and it depends on where it's located, and kind of trying to reduce the amount of time I'm jumping around the world. And the reason is because if you haven't watched any of my videos before, I do not fast travel. I think that really breaks the immersion for me. There's so many things that I already do, and that's when I can reduce myself. So I don't fast travel. And I want to talk about very quickly what mods I have. There's just 3 of them. I'm kind of an anti-mod user, but there's some that I guess you really almost have to play. I know some of you are saying there's 250 that we have to use. The answer is no. The Unofficial Skyrim Special Edition patch fixes a lot of pretty major bugs that were in the game that were left in it. And then I have Quality World Map, which lets you be able to see me get lost a lot less. Especially in the snow areas, you can't hardly see on the overworld map. You can't hardly see the roads. So someone did a nice little mod that brings those roads out a little bit better. So I do have that one, and that's for you guys so that I'm getting lost a lot less. And then I also have convenient horses installed. I hate the horses in Skyrim. I think they don't even fit in with the beautiful artwork of the scenery. It's like everything else looks so beautiful and realistic, and then there's these ugly, choppy, it's almost like an afterthought horses. You can't ride first person. You can't have your followers ride horses if you have one. So I went ahead and got the convenient horses mod. What I am doing here is I'm still looking for some mud crab chittens. It's like in Morrowind and Oblivion and Skyrim, mud crabs were the most annoying creatures, and since I started looking for them, they have vanished. I think they figured out that I'm looking for them or something, because they just aren't anywhere. It's so frustrating. My goodness. So anyway, you'll see me stopping along and looking for those. I have a physical list made with Microsoft OneNote of all the items that I have left to finish my house. So eventually it'll be finished. It's getting actually pretty close. And then once you get done, you can remove the workbenches and stuff. So anyway, I thought I would tell you why you see me stopping often. And what I'm doing here is I'm actually looking and making a decision which way I want to go. I am going to stop by the house to the very least drop off the stuff that I know that I have an inventory that I don't need to be carrying around, like the extra ingots and things. I thought I'd drop some of that stuff off at the house. I can't remember the last time I was there. You guys probably remember more than I do. So anyway. And again, I thought, surely there's mud crabs down here. I swear there always was before. Did we kill all the mud crabs in the world? No, because I avoided them. So anyway, what I was doing was looking up towards my house. I don't know the exact path to come from this way, and I'm always going the wrong way. And then I get stuck on a ledge like that, which was so stupid. Serena's looking at me like, what the heck are you doing? So, oh my gosh. Always want to be careful coming up here. The Lakeview Manor house tends to have a problem with wolves, bandits, thieves, and the occasional giant. So I always kind of want to be careful when I come around the side here. They're always there by where the animal pen is, which I'm probably not going to get any animals because they end up getting killed all the time. So anyway, I'm going to come in and put some stuff away. Kind of looking through my inventory here. I know I carry an awful lot of stuff I don't really need, but that's okay. I'm okay on weight. I very rarely have a problem with weight because I'm being really selective on what I'm picking up. I mean, we've got over 47,000 gold, so I see absolutely no need to have a completely empty pack when I go into a ruin or something, because I don't want to pick everything up that I'm seeing. So that's the reason why I don't worry about it. Plus, if I have a real big problem, I can always have Serena carry things. She's pretty good about that. She doesn't give me very much of a hard time. Mercurio used to complain 100% of the time when I would give him some stuff, and it just annoyed the crud out of me. It's like, just stop. So I think Serena says a number of things, and there's only one that's slightly annoying. But most of the time, she's helpful. Most of the time. So, okay, good. Okay, so we got rid of a few things, and I think that we should just continue on. Oh good, nothing's attacking us. It's only snowing ever so slightly, making me feel colder. Oh, ugh. Snow, yuck. I live where it snows. I think I've mentioned before that one thing I don't like about Skyrim is the climate and the terrain, but I don't like the climate, the cold. Just looking at that makes me cold. Even in the middle of summer when it's 90 degrees outside, I feel chilly playing this game. I've always been that way. It's always been one of my big complaints about it. And I guess because I compare it a lot to Oblivion, which I love Oblivion. It's my favorite in the series. And I may end up doing a playthrough someday on that, because it's just, I love it so much. I love the greenery and the rain and trees. It's just beautiful. But anyway, back to Skyrim. If at the time of this recording, it has just been released, a very interesting interview with Todd Howard. And he was doing some updates and was talking, oh my gosh, what the heck? I'm being attacked. The interviewer was very good and asked in multiple interesting ways, trying to get any information about Elder Scrolls 6, as far as a release date, how far along they were. Oh, Serena, I hate it when she resurrects these dies. I hate them. It was just really interesting, and it sounds like they're just not very far along. They're past the concept stage, I think, but to me, the only thing that interview did, and I did watch the whole thing because I did find it was very interesting. The only thing I learned is that they are working on Elder Scrolls 6. It's not, at this point, a dead project. As far as I can tell, at least from what Todd Howard said. It makes me so sad that it's taken this long, and it makes him sad that it's taken this long, but I think the company has basically more or less dictated to him what's next and what they have to work on first, and I don't have a clear picture from him on why that it has taken 11 years so far, and who knows how much longer it's going to be before it comes out. We have nothing. He won't even confirm for sure what province it's located in. So who knows? Nobody knows. So we have this for now. This is what we have for now. And he talked about that. He talked about the replayability of Skyrim and the modding community that has made this game what it is, really. Really interesting. If you haven't seen that when you're watching this, I highly recommend you go look at it. It was very interesting. He did talk quite a bit about Skyrim and many other projects, other games that I don't play. The Fallout series. He talked about his favorite games, and it was just interesting. And he talked about one of my favorite games, which was the Ultima 7 game, which is in the Ultima series of games from Richard Garriott, who is he's my guru. He's my guy. I'll talk about that. I talked about that some in, I did a review of Ultima 7, and I talk about that in that review of that game, and you should go back and look at that. I did meet Richard Garriott, who is the developer of the Ultima game series, the developer of Ultima Online, and Shroud of the Avatar, among other things. And I'm just rambling as we are on our very long journey here, and I'm sorry that it takes so long, but you know, when I'm playing this by myself, when I'm playing this game, I'm in this game. I am that person. I am that person riding that horse. So to me, it's not a big deal. Fast travel doesn't make sense to me in this game. Yeah, I know there's magic in the game, and I suppose you could justify it in that way, but not me. Like how I get around is I get on my horse and ride. So to me, it doesn't make any difference to me that it takes a while. In fact, I enjoy the journey. I enjoy the experience along the way. Everything, especially when you're very first beginning, everything you find is valuable money-wise. So I enjoy exploring new areas. I enjoy killing creatures along the way, even though I hate fighting, and enjoying the scenery and everything. It's just, so to me, it's no big deal. It's part of my experience, and so that's what I'm doing. I'm sharing with you part of my experience. Look at those revelers; they're reveling in their booze. It's so funny to see those guys just standing around drunkenly having conversations. It's too funny. So we continue on. It's kind of a cloudy day today, which I like the sunny days and I like the rainy days. I don't really so much prefer the cloudy or the snow. Definitely not the snow. But we're getting into an area where it doesn't really rain. It just snows. Double checking those very handy fence posts, make sure that I'm going the right way, and I am. And sometimes there's thieves along here. There's other things too, wolves and things that attack you, but there's thieves along here. And if you sprint, you can run past them. Like, see that guy up ahead? If I sprint, I can get past him. If I slow down, he kind of attacks. So I just wanted to get by him. I didn't really sprint. I kind of walked, get around the edge. He doesn't seem to bother Serena, so that's a good thing. Sometimes you'll see if I slow down, if my horse slows down and kind of moves down to the bottom edge of the screen, that means something's attacking. So anyway, since I don't fast travel, I sprint as much as possible until my stamina runs out. And that's what I'm doing now, so that we can hurry up and get there. So no big deal. We can enjoy the journey along our way. And then I see I'm looking for large antlers, and I think that deer right there, even though it had antlers, I don't know if they have them, but then I saw the big one down below. I'm looking for the large, I think it's large, I think it just says large antlers. That's what I'm looking for. I need a number of them for my house. So that's what I'm looking for. Yep, deer hide. Nope. Now that was frustrating. That made me mad. I don't want to kill the deer needlessly. This one, I thought, where the heck did it go? Man, it really didn't want to die. I thought, well, you can live another day since you ran so far away. So I hate it. I hate having to kill the deer and the goats because they're, they don't attack you and all that. And, so I hate it. But it's part of finishing my house, so it's a have to, not a want to. So I do apologize for the deer that I killed needlessly. It didn't have large antlers. I'm sorry, dear. I hope you had a very long life prior to coming across my way. I'm sorry for the sore throat. I have been sick for a month at this point with bronchitis, and so I still have a very rough throat. But I didn't want time to pass too much before I got you guys some more Skyrim episodes. Just for informational purposes, if you go to my main YouTube channel, you will see on the About section I have posted a schedule of when my videos are uploaded. Wednesdays is upload day for Skyrim, and I'm playing a second game right now, which is Stardew Valley. And the upload schedule for that is Mondays and Fridays. Saturdays I will post either a game review or sometimes I will post a poll or anything related to my games, really. Now this is weird. That guy fell down right there, and then that thing exploded, and then I can't find. Oh, there we go. He's still alive. I hit him. I couldn't find him. It's like he got vaporized. I still don't see him even while I'm re-looking at this, and it's like, where the heck did he go? He got totally vaporized, and I don't know where he went. He's around somewhere. I just don't know where. So I was looking, Emma, where did he go? Because he might have something on him that was valuable. He was standing right there, and then he wasn't. That's part of the gravity system that Skyrim have, and some of the others, some of the other Elder Scroll game have gravity. If it's a hillside or whatever, they can. If it's on like a cliff, forget about it. The thing is going to slide all the way down to the bottom, which I think is a really cool feature. The first time I saw gravity in a game, I don't know what game it was, I was absolutely blown away. I would watch something slide all the way down a hillside just because it was like, wow, that's so cool. I'm pretty positive, I know Oblivion had it. I'm not sure if any of the previous ones had it. But because I didn't play very much Morrowind, and the one before that was Daggerfall, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I don't think there was gravity in it. But anyway, I think it's really cool and a fun. It makes it much more realistic when you see something that you kill go sliding down a hill. Unfortunately, in Skyrim, there's a lot of hills and cliffs for things to slide down. It's a real pain in the neck if you have to go chasing after something. And don't need to kill any more goats. I've got all the goat hide and goat horns that I needed to finish my house, so goats are now safe from me. I don't have to worry. They don't have to worry about me anymore. I'm not going to kill them. And coming across some mills. We got a little ways to go still. I love all of the details, and Todd Howard was talking about this in his interview about the details and how they had a team of people whose job is to place the details in the game. Spoons, blades of grass, trees, anything. And they had a whole team of people whose job was to do that. I thought that was very cool and interesting because it adds so much detail to the game. This open world where if we want to collect a spoon from every place that we go, we can collect a spoon. I know one of my Skyrim Start Over playthroughs, I snagged something from each ruin that I went in. I don't remember what it was. It's been a long time ago, but it's like a trophy from each place that I went, and I would collect that and display it in my house. So I don't even remember what it was, but it was kind of a thing for me. There's so many different ways to play these games. There's so many rules you can make for yourself. That's one thing beautiful about a game like this, that you can make it your own. You can do your own thing, and who cares? I mean, I'm really preferring single player games over multiplayer games as I get older. I don't want to rely on anyone else, and I don't want anyone else to rely on me. I want to me, myself, and I, and play what I want, play how I want, and if I want to stop and play something else, I can. So the older I get, the more I get like that. I remember when the first real MMO was Ultima Online, the real graphical MMO, the first graphical one, and Todd mentions this, was Ultima Online. And I loved it. I loved it because it was the single-player Ultima games in multiplayer format, which is pretty cool. I loved it. And I've played many MMOs since then, but I just find that, I don't know, I just prefer not anymore. So, anyway, here we are in Windhelm, and we are going to run up here and talk to Ulfric and see what's next for us in regards to the war. I tried to stop for a second and talk with Yorlif because there's something else that's supposed to happen in this town after we finish him. After we finish the quest line here, but let's talk to Ulrich real quick. He's very happy with where we are now. Unfortunately, so many people had to die at Whiterun. Oh, I was so sad. You're gonna call me Ice Veins? I don't like that. First off, it makes me feel cold. He gave me a sword, which I'll take a look at here in a bit. So we gotta liberate the Falkreach Hold is our next task. And Galmor will give us some tasks as well. So, yeah, exactly what I'm going to be doing. Yeah, well, you'll be doing whatever Galmor tells you to do. Okay. It seems like to me, if I'm not mistaken, this is a changing point in how the Imperials will react to us. I wanted to talk to Ulfric because there's supposed to be something else that happens about there's a house in here that's we're supposed to what? Bounty added. What? I don't know what that was. I don't know. Wow, I hate looking back on my own gameplay because I see things that I didn't see before. I don't understand why there was a bounty added for me and to whom. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, he didn't tell me something that I needed to know. So there's where we're supposed to go next, kind of close to our house up in the mountains. It's kind of a camp there. But our next objective that we are going to work on is we're going to go down to Riften and find a guy down there that Delphine told us to find. And there's a couple of different ways that we can do that, but you'll see what I choose when we go there. So, why is he telling me about the destruction magic? I don't have my, hands out or anything. I'm looking at this sword, this elven sword of ice, and I still think that the one that Serena has is better. At some point, I'll check it. At this point, I just wanted to get on with it. It's like, okay, what do we need to do, and how do we need to go about it? So I want to get down to Riften. It's been a really long time. What I'm hoping is along the way we'll come across some saber cats, because we need teeth for our house building, and I need quite a few. But it's been a long time since I've seen any, so I thought, well, surely we'll see some along the way here. Try not to go off the bridge, which I've almost done a few times. It's really hard to turn around right there. I suppose I should leave my horse down by the stables, but I think that if I do that, because of the settings that I've set on it, I think it will follow me up to the door anyway. I'm pretty sure. So again, checking my map, look at those lovely roads, which we can see way better with our quality world map. Kind of just stands out better, more. So, okay, this is the way we need to go. Like I said, it's been a really long time since we've been to Riften. I've kind of avoided going back down there just because we've been doing other things. But it's time to go. Let's go see what we can find along the way. Maybe get out of the ice and the snow. Whew, I need a sweater. Make me feel less cold than I feel right now. So anyway, on this hazy day, and kind of watching for things along the way. There's certain creatures I'm looking for, namely those big elks for their antlers, for some mud crabs, for some saber cats. Those are some of the things that we need to finish working on our house. There's also amulets that we need, but it's more a matter of want rather than need, but it's a completion thing for finishing my house. So that's what we're kind of keeping our eye for, all these things. And I do have a list. I've mentioned Microsoft OneNote before, and it's an absolute, when I'm making game notes, that's my go-to. I used to use actual notebooks. That's how I learned to play games, was making notes in notebooks. And I still have those notebooks from those games. But now I've switched to electronically, and I use Microsoft OneNote, and it actually it goes across all of my devices. So if I make a note on my computer, or if I make a note on my phone or my iPad or whatever, it will it goes across all devices. So when I'm sitting here with my Microsoft OneNote, I have two different notebooks. One is for my real life and one is for my gaming life. And I will, so I had gone off camera and created one for Skyrim and created things needed to finish my house, and went to all of the workstations in the house and say, okay, I grabbed everything from my building chest, and I said, okay, what do I still need to be able to craft the items that are on this workstation, and made a note of each room and each item that I still needed, and that's how I utilized that. And I use Microsoft OneNote for all the games that I play that need notes of any kind. So in those games, I'll explain it in the videos for those games, but that's how I'm using it for Skyrim. Skyrim obviously has a journal system that keeps track of things for you, and there's very few things that I need to keep track of manually, but that was one thing that I did because I kept thinking, do I need more of this or more of that, or and I ended up with so much more like goat horns than I actually needed. So that's one reason why I use it for that. Otherwise, the journal system keeps track of all your quests and things you've already done, things you still need to do. So it's not as necessary for this game as it is some other games. And again, note-taking for games is a throwback to the old games that didn't have very good journals. Oh my gosh. I heard something, and I heard Serena stop, and it was a troll. And look at that, a 200 value ruby. I hate killing trolls because all you get is troll fat. And that, if I made the exception, this poor farmer died. I made the exception in this particular case and checked, because it had been a while since I had killed a troll, because I forgot that it only had troll fat, and that one had a ruby. So now that makes me want to check all of them. Not that we need the money. It's like, oh my gosh, I hate leaving money laying around, especially 200 gold. Anyway, I was talking about note-taking, and that in much older games, 20, 30 years ago, the games that you played, you needed a notebook to figure out what you were doing, where you were going, who you're supposed to see, and so that's where I started using notebooks, and I've used them for a long time, until the quests journals and things started, kind of making that obsolete for the most part. But as you can see, I mean, this is maybe one of my most modern games that I play. I play some newer games from this, but they've got pretty good journal books built in, quest guides built in, so you don't have to keep detailed notes. Then I saw there's another troll up ahead. It's like, my gosh, really? I really want some saber-toothed cats. It's like, why don't you just hang around there until that horse explodes? And do we have anything? No, Trofat, worth 15 gold. If that. I was aggravated. It's like, come on, I'm looking for some saber-toothed cats along here. That's what I really, really was. That's one of the main reasons that I thought we'd come down here. It's like, come on, surely we'll see some along the way. Then I saw a very large elk up on the hill. And I thought, okay, let's try that. Hopefully it wasn't a needless kill again. And large antlers. That's what we're looking for. So I can check that off my list of things needed. Which I will when I get around to it. We are getting closer and closer to where we're headed. No, I don't. I hate it when I accidentally click. It says you want to move your custom marker. No, I don't. Quit asking me. I wish I had an option for don't ever ask me that again. I don't want to move my marker. I don't want to remove my marker. I want to leave it exactly where it is. My marker, just in case I haven't told you before, is marked for my house, because I always want to know what direction it is, because until you get close to something, things don't show up on your compass, and I like it to always come up. And I also wanted to mention, in case you've never watched one of my videos, I have a little bit of short-term memory loss. So sometimes I will repeat myself by accident, and sometimes I repeat myself because I meant to. And I will let you decide which is which. It's not terrible. It's just normal senior memory loss that we all have. So this little fort here, Fort whatever, Greenwell or something, I can't think of the name of it. Every once in a while when I come through here, there's bandits here that have taken up residence again. So I thought, okay, let's kill these bandits again. It's like, oh, you nasty thing, you. It's like, why just pick one? And there's a whole bunch of them. Serena's killing a bunch of them, I think. But something happens here that I thought was kind of interesting. We'll figure this out. So it's like, okay, hold still. Just a moment. Thank you for holding still. So I thought I'd better run inside and check on Serena. Make sure she's doing okay. And I come in here just in time to see her hunched over because she's been attacked. And that's when I remembered, oh yeah, she's essential. So she can't die. Unlike the other followers that are not part of the DLC, like this is part of the Dawnguard. Serena's part of the Dawnguard DLC. They're not essential and they can die, which means you have to reload or gather all the stuff and go find another follower. So Serena's essential, and you can see that she's had damage, but she just bends over and hides herself kind of in a ball there until, and I'm hitting wrong buttons, that's why you're seeing all this, until I come along or till she gets healed. So I'm going to heal her up real quick, and I'll heal myself up real quick. Just I don't have to, because it'll heal I'll be healing myself, healing on my own as I'm headed along. But I like to use those skills as much as possible. So anyway, I was reminded again that Serena is essential, that she can't die, and I'm so grateful. That's another reason I like her. I like her for a lot of reasons, but that's one of the reasons. I know you can do mods to make your followers essential, but without those mods, that's the only one. Then it occurred to me, why have I not knocked down these barriers right here? And that was a direct result of remembering when I had to go to Whiterun and have a battle there, that I knocked those barriers down with magic. I thought, why have I never done that? What a dope. Now I wonder eventually if when the bandits move back in, if they will redo it. I don't know. I guess in time we'll find out. For now I knocked them down, which makes it so much easier and faster to come along here. I find it amazing that 11 years down the road and it never occurred to me. It's like, my gosh. Obviously, I'm a very bad fighter. I've mentioned this many times, and I'll mention it many more. I just am terrible. And I've always been a terrible fighter in all games that I play. I get by. I mean, Skyrim, because I can make it on very easy mode, I get by quite well, actually. But if I increased it, it would be a battle for survival. And I don't want a battle for survival every single time I go somewhere, because that's not enjoyable to me. That's stressful to me. It's the opposite of enjoyable. And I'm all about, especially when I was working, I didn't want to be stressed when I was playing a game. I find it really interesting that I am very unique in that. Todd Howard was talking about that in that interview I keep talking about. And it kind of blew me away that he thinks that that's something, combat and the stress of combat is something that players look forward to. And I just found that super interesting comment. Thought, well, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Not all of us are playing these games because we're looking for the excitement. So I've got to do a confession to you. This quest tells you to talk to whatever his name was, the thief kind of guy, right? I can't think of his name right off the top of my head. And in that conversation, he wants you to steal a ring from Madesi and put it in the pocket of someone else. That's the quest, and the whole point of that is to be able to get the location of the guy that you're looking for, Esbern, right? So Warnjoff, yeah, that's the guy that you are sent to speak to. Well, I attempted that like 5 times and I got arrested 5 times. So I had to look it up. I thought, okay, there's got to be another way of being able to find that guy. And I found out you can go and talk to the bartender at the Bee and Barb or whatever it is, that tells you where that person is located down underneath, and it's called the Ratway Bar or something like that. So that's the other way you can be able to find Esbern. And so, yeah, the Ratway it's called. So there were 2 different ways of to make that quest go forward. And so that's what I chose to do, because I was so frustrated by getting arrested over and over and over and over again and reloading. I mean, I think I tried it probably 5 or 6 times. And as you can see here, there's people that may attack us. So we'll go ahead and steal their stuff. Gold and lockpicks, okay. I didn't start the fight. Ugh. Yes, done and done. So, a flawless garnet. Sweet. We'll take it. You gonna attack us? So our cursor, our compass is telling us basically where to go, more or less. But it's like, I don't know this way very well, and I can't see very well. I got halfway decent eyesight, but I was like, okay, I should probably turn up my monitor. Or I should use maybe my spell that I have. I'm not 100% sure the best way of going or how to go, and I just kind of stumble along until I find where I need to go. Unfortunately, you get to go with me. So maybe we get a little bit lost here and there. Not sure. Like, where am I at? Where am I going? I knew that wasn't right because the cursor was not telling me to go there. So I kind of got myself stuck. Serena, why are you using magic? Why aren't you using a torch? You need to use a torch to help me see. It's like, oh yeah, remember that candlelight spell that we're supposed to be using? At least we can see a little bit better. So I do a little bit of backtracking. I do a little bit of lockpicking to kind of figure out where I'm supposed to go. I assumed that I should have put that bridge down, but I couldn't remember how to do it, and I didn't want to look it up. So I'm just kind of stumbling around in the dark. Total pun intended. At the same time, I'm increasing my lockpicking skill. Look at that. I'm almost a 47 lockpicking. And I can't remember if I need 50 or 60 to pick that next perk. But we will see. Got a lot of lockpicks left. It's been a while since we've been in the ruins and places that we needed to lockpick. So we are certainly getting our experience today. Come on. This is, oh, it's an expert. That's why. It's expert. But we did it. We did it. Again, still, oh, got a bad guy here. Wow. It's like, let's quit putting our firelight on him. It really doesn't do him any good. Thanks, Rena. She covered me for being a dodo head. His name was Lowlife. I thought that was so funny. Oh, who has a name like Lowlife? So anyway, I think we are where we need to be able to talk to the guy that we've been sent here to talk to. So this is a really strange little bar down here with water around it. It's like a weird place. And looking for a guy hiding. Lots of old guys around. Well, okay. We can either persuade, which doesn't work in this case. So I should have thought about this. I should have thought the kind of person that we're dealing with probably persuasion isn't going to work. Probably money talks. And since we have plenty, it's not a big deal. And look at that. I increased my speech skill and I can level up to number 20. So he says he's in the Ratway Warrens. That's our next destination, is the Ratway Warrens, wherever the heck that is. So we've made a little bit of progress on finding Esbern. Find him in the Ratway Warrens. Okay. And now our cursor is telling us to go this way. Hopefully we won't get too lost here, trying to find our way. Or will we? Is someone there? Oh, a wizard, a Thalmor wizard. What's a Thalmor wizard doing hanging around down here? That's rather creepy. Did she just resurrect him? Oh good, she didn't. It's like, ooh. I know, that's one of her strengths, but it's also one of her weaknesses. Oh, another Thalmor soldier? Wow. Looks like the Thalmors are not liking us very much anymore. I keep forgetting to supply Serena with torches, and I just saw that I missed a couple. I hate it when I look back on my gameplay and realize that I messed up. So hopefully I will do a better job. So let's get some candlelight going. It's been a while since we've been inside, so I'm out of practice of what I need to be doing. Any kind of run or dark place. But we got Serena with her torch, hopefully, and I got my candlelight spell. So we're still kind of wandering around lost here. But we'll make our way, don't worry. And not picking a whole lot of stuff up here. Really, it's just we've got a singular goal for being down here, and I have no interest in searching around here or doing anything. I really want to get to that where my cursor is flashing. That's kind of what I'm trying to do. And I kind of got a little lost, but that's okay. Not horribly, and not too terribly long, hopefully, for your sake. So it's like, it's down there. How do you get down there? I don't know the answer to that question. So then I thought, well, my cursor, it's like, it's down and that way. I will figure it out. Not to worry. What would an episode be without Rhiannon getting lost? I mean, come on. You would be disappointed if I didn't get lost, right? You know, Serena has a spell in one hand and her sword, it looks like, in the other. And I wanted to take this time here to mention that I am not a professional sound engineer, and while which my son is, that's what he does for a living. He works for a gaming company. His sounds are perfect. They would always be perfect. You would never hear a cat meowing in the background or any kind of background noise. And while I could get the software and gain the skills needed to make it perfect, I'm not going to. So I'll minimize it, but occasionally you are going to hear a kitty cat crying in the background. I have two long hair Siamese, which are called Balinese, and they occasionally are, well, always are very, very needy. And if I don't give them enough attention, then they start hollering at me. So that's what you're going to hear occasionally, and I'll try to keep that to a minimum, but that's what that is. And occasionally when that happens, I'll try to remember to flash a picture of them on the screen, because I've been told if there's no pictures, it didn't happen. So I'll try to remember to do that. So let's see. It looks like I'm trying to see, is there a pathway? I keep going into that circle area, and that doesn't seem right. So it's like, frustrating. Serena's like, I don't know either, but I'm running after you. Just stay with you. Oh my gosh. We'll figure it out. Don't worry. All these dead bodies littered around. So it's like, okay, it's got to be down. It's like, all right, let's jump down. Maybe down there and maybe that way. And that didn't seem right. It's like, have we been this way before? Then I thought, okay, how about down here? It looks like there's a doorway that way. And it's like, okay, let's get some light on this subject. We've been through this door, I think we had. Then I see, aha, there's an aha moment. Right there. It's like, maybe since we're going through this door, and that's where we're supposed to go, Ratway Warrens. So that's where we were supposed to be going, and I don't know where our buddy is. And I'm taking the opportunity to work on my lockpicking skill. We're at 47, and we've got a lot of lockpicks on us, so I really want to work on that skill and keep it going. Wow. And it's like, which way do we go? Now, logic would have told me to go right up those stairs, and that's where I should be. Did I? No. I'm not a very good dungeon crawler, even though I'm a dungeon crawler from way back. Oh, that's it. Fireball the ceiling. From way back when dungeons were really a pain in the neck, like with Daggerfall. They are a royal pain in the neck. So easy to get lost. And dungeon crawling says you follow your right hand, and eventually you will hit everything in the dungeon. That's like the rule of thumb. I'm not very good at that. So in the meantime, Esbern! Open the door, I'm a friend. And he denies being Esbern. Dude, you're Esbern. And here I am caught in a rat in a trap, huh? Okay. So he believes us. Let's try persuading. Okay, so come on in, he says. So I've got the sound turned down pretty low for the game. And what you can hear is he's unlocking multiple locks. So this absolutely cracked me up. I've never been to New York City. I've never been. I've seen TV shows where people have like 6 locks on their doors. That's what brought it to mind when I saw that. It's like, oh my gosh. So I made a mistake here. I was bringing up the candlelight spell just so that I could put some light on his face, and before I could, he pulls me into this dialogue, which I couldn't get out of. And poor Serena's walking around like, what are we fighting? So we're going to have this conversation with my hands up, so I'm sorry about that. So we're just going to give them some background. And so Alduin has returned, just like the prophecy said. Correct. And he's bringing these dragons. He's releasing them. So that's not good. Alduin will devour all things. So Esbern tried to tell him, nobody would listen. So doom has approached. Yeah, so we're like, these ones raising the dragons? Yes. You know, but you refuse to understand. Literal end of the world. Yes. The world will end. Alduin has returned. Only a dragonborn can stop it. Well, as luck would have it. We are the dragonborn. Can't wait to share the news. It's not hopeless. Yes, it can be true. We've been told that since almost day one. You're the Dragonborn, you're the Dragonborn, you're the Dragonborn. So now it may be useful. We must. Go quickly. Take me to Delphine. We have much to discuss. So, do a quick save here before we screw anything up. And our goal is going to be to get Esbern to Delphine. And we're going to have to get out of this crazy underground nasty spot with all the nasties, that some of which want to kill us. And just taking a quick look. Whoa, dude, right in my face. And that's going to be where we're going to end it today. Next episode we're going to get Esbern to Delphine and see what our next steps are. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate your help. It means a lot to me when I see I get new subscribers. I get very excited. Every day I check my subscriber total. But the main thing though is I want you to have a wonderful rest of your day.